Hello. Gone are the days when you could only forage through forests, valleys, and mountains for fungi and berries. And why shouldn't it be? If edible weeds and plants grow freely around us, shouldn't we enjoy it? Here's a list of 7 edible weeds that you've probably seen and didn't know you could eat. I'll eat any of these, and the kids have tried most of them. 1. Dandelion. Dandelions have been identified as one of the most nutritious foods in the world. The best part of this is that dandelion lives right outside your door. Literally, it grows everywhere there is space and moisture. Did you know those pesky dandelions are edible? We used to eat them when I was growing up. I remember hearing a story of a man who had to pick them to eat when he was little because his family didn't have enough food. Then when his daughter grew up and became successful, she took him to a fancy restaurant where they served dandelion salad. He started laughing that it was a fancy restaurant serving what he used to eat growing up. He didn't realize he was so refined. Anyway, we used to eat the flowers, stems, and leaves. I hear the roots are also edible, but you'd need to wash them first. 2. Chickweed. This little crawler is a nutritional wonder. Very high in vitamins, excellent raw in salads or in sandwiches. It is most abundant in shady, moist environments. In your garden, it would be likely around your water tap, under trees, or amongst other vegetables. I often say that if you have chickweed in your garden, it means you are a good gardener, as chickweed loves well-drained, deep, humus-rich soils. So if you have chickweed in your backyard, that is a badge of honor. Deceptively named a weed by who knows who, chickweed is another pick and eat in my house, but you should probably wash it first. Chickweed has small, oval leaves with pointed tips. The leaves grow in pairs opposite each other along the stem. Anyway, the leaves, stem, and flower are all edible on this plant. 3. White clover, another tasty treat that's been labeled a weed by Big Garden. Clover is another plant that grows basically everywhere, and people call them weeds. We used to eat them all the time. Sometimes we'd just be sitting in the yard and pick them for something to munch on. You can identify them by their flowers, which are small, white, and form dense, almost ball-shaped clusters. We'd pop the flower in our mouths and munch on them. Apparently, the leaves, stem, and flower are all edible. We typically only ate the flower, though. 4. Wild raspberries. These are one of my favorites to this day. I love going on bike rides and finding them. We always called them wild berries. I was taught that raspberries didn't grow in the wild, but I just looked it up and boy, was I wrong. Apparently, people call them wild raspberries. I call them delicious. They're smaller than the raspberries you buy in the grocery store and pack a lot more flavor. These are my favorite, and the kids love them too. They are ready to eat when they become a beautiful red. They should almost fall off the vine when you go to pick them too. 5. Honeysuckles. These aren't found on a lot of edible plant lists because technically they aren't completely edible, but the syrup inside the flower is amazing. A top 2 on my list of edible plants my family loves to eat to this day. These are technically invasive, so a lot of people don't like them. Personally, that's like saying, someone left all this delicious food in my house for me to eat whenever I want. Ugh, such an inconvenience. They have the weirdest flower you've probably ever seen. What you do is pick the flower. At the base of the flower is a bit of green. Grab that part tightly and pull it out. The long thing in the middle of the flower will slide out, and you'll see a drop of honey on it. Apparently, the long thing is called a style. Who knew? I didn't. 6. Sour grass. Not one we had around where I grew up, but this is another weed that's edible. Sour grass can be eaten, but not in large quantities. something about calcium absorption. But when I see it around, I'll pick one or two and have a little snack. The flowers are small and delicate, usually with 5 petals. They are typically yellow where we live. The flower is almost always closed up too. The leaves, flowers, and stems are all edible on this one too. We typically only eat the flower. 7. Black mulberry. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put these on the list because some darker berries aren't good to eat, but I decided, what the heck, and put them on the list anyway. These little buggers grow on big trees. We have one in our backyard. They tend to just fall off the tree. If you're unlucky enough to park under one of these trees at the wrong time of year, your car will get covered in a black, jam-like covering. Anyway, these are pretty good. Not as good as the wild raspberries, but definitely edible. We like eating the different colors because when they are lighter, almost white, they can have a little more flavor. 8. Purslane. I have just bragged about this wonderful plant on Instagram the other day, and it sparked a roar. So many cultures love it fresh and cooked, steamed and in pies, pickled and in soups. Purslane is a summer plant, and we just had a bonanza of it in our gardens due to the recent rains. It is probably still around and will be for another few weeks. Seek it out. Super easy to identify due to the succulent look and the spreading behavior. What purslane is most respected for is the high levels of omega-3 fatty acids that are very good for your bones, your brain, your circulation, and your general fluidness. An old Chinese gardener once told me that purslane is very good to keep your body running, but if you eat too much, it gives you the runs. Like everything, small amounts in a complex diet is best.